Armin Sunoiler posted 155.784 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Chris Ilduke has a best lap time of 157.755. Armin Sunoiler posted a 216.213 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Superman has a best lap time of 155.425. Armin Sunoiler posted 216.213 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 311 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Let's talk rubber. Tyre pressures ain't just about pumping them up and hitting the road. Eat a Euro S like a fine art.
Couldn't have said it better. Tire pressures can dramatically impact the contact pitch, the actual bit of tire touching the tarmac. Too high and you lose temperature and grip, too low, and you risk overheating, uneven wear, or even a blowout. Each tire will have its own sweet spot where they grip best.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
Richard Rossio is on their first practice flying lap. Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 155.309. Richard Rossier is in Panasonic corner. Wayne Pearson posted a 158.441 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 155.295. With just 307 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Wayne Pearson posted 157.289 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Eric Wolfs has a best lap time of 155.284. You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Ever heard the pit crew chat about wheel camber? Sounds like a dance move, but trust me, it's all car talk.
Haha, yeah, camber is the angle of the wheel relative to the road. A bit of negative camber, where the top of the tire leans inwards, can give more grip in the corners. But too much and you're looking at premature wear on the inside of the tire. It's a balancing act, and each track requires its own setting.
Richard Rossier posted a 156.750 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Armin Sunoiler has a best lap time of 154.528. Let's get this qualifying session underway here at Fuji Speedway GP.
I think there's a few drivers out there who have the pace to stick in on pole.
A solid qualifying performance by Jack M team, positioning them in second at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
Absolutely, Rob. Jack M team has shown great potential to secure second. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Impressive display by Megasaurus 55, currently sitting in position 6. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Megasaurus 55's current position of 6th is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
Currently in third, Richard Rossier has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Richard Rossier has positioned themselves impressively in third. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Incredible drive by Jack M team so far, earning them second on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? Impressive work, Chris Ilduke has completed their outlap. Chris Ilduke has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Jack M team has completed their first flying lap in 1:55.753. A solid performance from Armin Sunoiler as they currently hold position 5. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of. Armin Sunoiler has just completed a lap in 1:54.656. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. A strong showing from Eric Wolfs as they currently sit in 7th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
You're spot on, Rob. Eric Wolfs' current position of 7th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
Eric Wolfs has just completed that lap in 1:56.091. Their best lap so far is 1:56.091, putting them in P6. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? It's an impressive showing by Wayne Pearson, currently in 8th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Jack M team has positioned themselves well in 5th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Jack M team will be happy having put themselves into 4th in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
Wayne Pearson has secured a respectable 8th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
Spot on analysis, Rob. Wayne Pearson has positioned themselves well in 8th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
Wayne Pearson has some work to do as that 1:55.328 is only good enough for 6th. Impressive display by Puppy Dog from Hell, currently sitting in position 10. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
I completely agree, Rob. Puppy Dog from Hell has positioned themselves impressively in 10th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Superman will be happy having put themselves into 1st in this qualifying session. What a performance from Chris Ilduke. Chris Ilduke has completed their first flying lap in 1:55.186. Mr. Bang has put in a great effort and currently holds 9th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full? Mr. Bang has some work to do as that 1:55.639 is only good enough for 7th. And there goes Puppy Dog from Hell. Puppy Dog from Hell has completed their outlap. A solid qualifying performance by Eric Wolfs, positioning them in 8th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Eric Wolfs has some work to do as that 1:55.121 is only good enough for 6th. What a fantastic showing from Superman in qualifying. They currently hold the top spot and are in prime position for a strong starting position. Their lap times have been exceptional, and they have showcased their talent and determination.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Superman has been absolutely exceptional in this qualifying session. Their performance is a testament to their skill and determination.
Incredible drive by Mr. Bang so far, earning him 8th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
You're spot on, Rob. Mr. Bang's current position of 8th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
Mr. Bang has some work to do, as that 154.836 is only good enough for 6th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
A strong showing from Armin Sunoiler as they currently sit in 3rd. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Armin Sunoiler has done a fantastic job to claim 3rd. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
It's a dominant performance from Superman in this qualification session. They have shown exceptional form and are leading the way. Their confidence is shining through, and they are proving why they are considered one of the best in the business.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Superman has asserted their authority on the track with their commanding performance. The gap between them and the rest of the field is quite significant.
Richard Rossier has positioned themselves well in 4th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Richard Rossier has positioned themselves well in 4th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
Richard Rossier will be happy, having put themselves into 2nd in this qualifying session. Armin Sunoiler has secured a respectable 4th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
Absolutely, Rob. Armin Sunoiler has put in a remarkable effort to secure 4th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
What a sublime effort by Superman in qualifying. They have taken charge of the session, holding the top position with authority. Their consistency and skill have been unmatched so far, and they are positioning themselves for a favorable starting position. Superman will be happy, having put themselves into 1st in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
A challenging session for maybe today's Satan so far. They're currently in 11th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better result. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for maybe today's Satan so far. They find themselves in 11th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
Spot on analysis, Rob. It's been a difficult qualifying session for maybe today's Satan, but they shouldn't lose hope just yet. They have the talent and determination to make a comeback, and it'll be exciting to see how they respond to this adversity.
It's always an adventure when we come to Japan, and Fuji Speedway GP is no exception. The drivers love this track, but it's also one of the most demanding on the circuit.
You never know what's going to happen on this track. It's a real wild card, and that's why the drivers love it. It's going to be a wild ride today.
Starting from pole position is a great opportunity for Superman to take control of the race.
But they will have to keep their foot on the gas in order to stay there.
Richard Rossier will look to make a splash from the second position on the starting grid. Megasaurus 55 will begin the race from the third spot on the starting grid,
putting that Mazda Eunos Roadster touring car into prime position for the race.
Armin Sunoiler is fourth.
Armin Sunoiler is looking on for a strong result.
Starting just behind the front runners in fifth place is the determined driver, Jack M Team. Starting from sixth on the grid is a good position for Mr. Bang to launch an attack.
They would have liked to be higher up, but that's not going to stop Mr. Bang fighting their way through.
Sitting in seventh is Chris Ilduke. The eighth starting position belongs to Eric Wolfs, who will be looking to make up ground early on.
It's the hard tires for Eric Wolfs.
Wayne Pearson is placed in ninth.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
Starting from the 10th position, Puppy Dog from Hell will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win.
An opportunity for some good points today, but the others aren't going to make it easy.
Maybe today Satan has some work to do from 11th on the grid, but they're not out of the race yet. And we have liftoff. The race is now underway. This first sector will test the driver's skills and their ability to stay focused.
Y'all, this is where the rubber meets the road. Them drivers gonna be hustling to snag the best spot.
You ain't kidding. Gotta be sharper than a hickory stick to come out clean on this stretch.
This first bit always got me on the edge of my seat. Bunch of cars all jumbled up, one little hiccup and it's lights out.
Yeah, gotta keep your eyes peeled and your hands steady on that wheel. Well, ain't that a slice of vanilla? Superman's sitting pretty right where they started. Comfy as a koala in a eucalyptus tree.
Like gladiators they enter raw, but instead of lions and swords our champions fight in an arena of tarmac, and with fire-breathing machines of cutting-edge materials, designed to explore the very limits of physics itself in what can sometimes be very much a fight to the death.
So Richard Rossier's decided to play it cool, eh? Holding on to two like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
It all comes down to this, Rob, where the rubber meets the road. There's no more time for talk, no more practice. The teams have done all they can, now it comes down to Richard Rossier to bring it home.
All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the pack whilst they're still bunched up. The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap.
I am so excited at the prospects for this race. I can't wait to see the drama unfold.
Look, it's not always the fireworks on track that win the race. Wayne Pearson is playing it cool, holding their cards close. Gee whiz. Eric, Wolfs is breathing down Puppy Dog from Hell's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Puppy Dog from Hell's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded.
With the way Eric Wolfs is stalking Puppy Dog from Hell, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
Blimey, Mr. Bang might want to check the rearview. Puppy Dog from Hell's creeping up like an X on social media.
Reminds me of the Friday night dances back home. Mr. Bang's trying to lead the dance, but Puppy Dog from Hell's stepping on those heels.
Oh, this is getting intense. Chris Duke is just behind Armin Sunoiler.
Remember that time Chris Duck made that audacious move on the last lap? Feels like deja vu, doesn't it, Rob?
Armin Sunoiler seems to be losing the plot with Richard Rossier. They'll need to buck up their ideas as they dive into Dunlop Corner and aim for a ripper exit to gain some ground. It looks like Wayne Pearson is pushing hard to catch up to Mr. Bang. The gap is over a second, but Wayne Pearson is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Mr. Bang?
Well, shoot, if Wayne Pearson was any more laid back, they'd be horizontal. Reckon they're daydreaming of those cheerleaders again?
Richard Rossier has the pedal to the metal chasing Jack M team.
If you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
Phew, talk about foreplay. Maybe today Satan and Eric Wolfs are really teasing us here. I haven't seen this much anticipation since my first date. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
Mr. Bang is so close to Wayne Pearson that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
Richard Rossier wants to close that gap with Jack M team. It's not coming up roses for Richard Rossier. They're trailing Jack M team and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Huge shout out to the admins at Assetto Corsa Friends for making this all possible. Without their hard work and dedication, we wouldn't be able to witness this incredible event.
That's right, Rob, and the excitement is palpable. I can feel it in my circuits.
Stop the press. I don't think that's the fastest way around Fuji Speedway GP.
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 5 kph out there right now.
It's a close race between Richard Rossier and Jack M team in third.
It's a battle for position as Richard Rossier tries to make a move on Jack M team. This is what racing is all about.
Chris Duke appears to be trying to find a way round Armin Sunoiler. They could make a move on them in start-finish straight.
Do they have the speed for a move, and more importantly, do they have the talent?
Coming into start-finish straight, the fight for 10th is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? We've got an edge-of-your-seat battle between Richard Rossier in 4th and Armin Sunoiler in 5, with just 0.2 seconds between them.
The way Armin Sunoiler's chasing, you'd think Richard Rossier took the last piece of Grandma's apple pie. Which, for the record, I did once. Still got the scar.
Oh crikey, Hal, Richard Rossier just got outfoxed and Armin Sunola's taken the chockies.
That's like swapping sweet tea for moonshine. A change nobody saw coming.
The pressure is on for Wayne Pearson as they try to catch up to maybe today's Satan.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Wayne Pearson needs to stay patient and wait for maybe today's Satan to make a mistake.
Bloody hell, Wayne Pearson's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched ninth. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. You know, the way these racers manage their fuel is an art in itself. Reminds me of when I'm trying to eke out the last bit of sauce from a Vegemite jar.
Vegemite again? Man, I'd rather run on empty. But yeah, getting that fuel strategy right is like pacing yourself.
Breaking news folks, disappointing for Wayne Pearson, they now find themselves in 10th. Stone the Crows. Wayne Pearson's in 10th, but if I know them, Mr. Bang's gonna cop an Aussie-style sneak attack real soon. Now isn't this a show? Armin Sunoiler's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Chris Ilduke. Look at them weave and bob through start-finish straight, folks. Whoa, Armin Sunoiler's on fire, leaving skid marks and Chris Ilduke's hopes behind. Hold on to your hats. Chris Ilduke is gunning for Armin Sunoiler. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend? The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
It's going to be a close one. Richard Rossier will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
No room for error here. Armin Sunoiler is breathing down the neck of Chris Ilduke, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. It's pedal to the metal for Armin Sunoiler, while Chris Ilduke's still flipping through the radio channels. The intensity is off the charts as Chris Ilduke hounds Armin Sunoiler, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Chris Ilduke is taking that advice to heart today.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? With a move that's swift, I'd say Richard Rossier is running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit.
Yes, Richard Rossier is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
Blimey, Jack M team's more eager to catch Richard Rossier than a bloke at the bar at last call. Hope he's got the stamina for this chase. Jack M team's falling behind Richard Rossier at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close the gap. Watching the drivers handle their cars is like watching a croc handler at a wildlife show. There's a finesse to it. But one wrong move, and you're in a world of hurt.
Oh, for sure. It's like trying to rope a bull in a rodeo. It looks easy from the stands, but up close, it's all about skill, timing, and knowing when it's about to let go.
If racing were a dance, Chris Ilduke would be trying to lead, but Armin Sunoiler just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. Mate, I've always thought choosing a tyre compound is a bit like choosing your favourite Aussie beer. Do you go for something robust that can last, or something that gives a quick hit but might wear out fast?
Haha, well, I reckon it's more like our North Carolina barbecue sauces. Some like it sweet and long-lasting, others prefer that quick tangy kick. But I'll tell ya, getting it wrong is like biting into a pepper when you're expecting a blueberry.
Remember when Jack M team was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. Mr. Bang's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate. Mr. Bang is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace.
Can Mr. Bang keep it together?
Oh no, what's this? Looks like that's a mistake from Puppy Dog from Hell. This could be costly.
Feels like Puppy Dog from Hell's car turned into a stubborn mule for a second there at Fuji Speedway GP.
Chris Duke is giving it their all as they chase down Armin Sunoiler in P5.
Woo-wee, there's more tension between Chris Duck and Armin Sunoiler than there is at a shotgun wedding. Pass the popcorn and let's see where this love story goes.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Mr. Bang is getting closer to Wayne Pearson, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel.
Nail-biting indeed. I've already chewed through half of mine. And while Mr. Bang is going for gold, I'll be going for a manicure.
Alright, hold your horses. Armin Sunoiler is really putting the heat on Chris Duke. If I were Chris Duke, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
If Armin Sunoiler isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine, and trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
Wow, Wayne Pearson is really pushing hard to catch up to Mr. Bang. There's blood in the water for 10th place.
At this rate, Wayne Pearson and Mr. Bang are so close, they could share a cup of tea and a biscuit.
It's like David versus Goliath out there. Wayne Pearson just slung a stone and gained ground, while Mr. Bang is left searching for footing.
Yes, but Wayne Pearson can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Mr. Bang is right behind Wayne Pearson, keeping the pressure on for 10th place.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake? Mr. Bang or Wayne Pearson? This is high-stakes racing.
Aussies love a good underdog story. Any dark horses you're keeping an eye on for this race?
Well, every rodeo has its wild card. I've got a couple names in mind, but I'll keep them close to the vest for now.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Armin Sunoiler is chasing Chris Duke in P5. If Armin Sunoiler doesn't pick up the pace, hell, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike. Tell ya what, Mr. Bang's trailing harder than my belt after Christmas dinner. Reckon he's got a plan up his sleeve, or is he just here for the sausage sizzle? It looks like Mr. Bang is making a move. The gap to Wayne Pearson is now down to 0.5 seconds.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. Mr. Bang's using that draft from Wayne Pearson real effectively, shaving off tenths every lap.
The drivers are really pushing their limits out there on the track.
It's like they're trying to outrun the laws of physics. But we all know that's impossible. Or is it? I mean, we're a couple of AI commenting on a race, anything can happen.
Ha ha. You have a point there. And speaking of pushing limits, these cars are breaking records left and right.
They're so fast, it's like they're breaking the sound barrier. Or at least the speed limit.
I hope the police aren't watching. Oh, this is getting intense. Puppy Dog from Hell is just a few car lengths behind maybe today Satan.
It's hotter than a jalapeno out here. If Puppy Dog from Hell gets any closer to maybe today's Satan, we're gonna need to put this stream on OnlyFans.
As vast as the azure stretches of the Great Barrier Reef, so does Megasaurus 55's path ahead, filled with mystique and myriad challenges.
Kind of reminds me of fishing in the vast Carolina blue. A big catch might just be a castaway. Now, racing ain't just about speed, It's the rhythm, the heartbeats, the very folklore of our land. And every heartbeat, no matter how faint, can still muster a song.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Puppy Dog from Hell trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on maybe today's Satan. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Puppy Dog from Hell close in enough to mount a challenge? It seems like Puppy Dog from Hell is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race. The race is really heating up. Mr. Bang is hunting down Wayne Pearson with everything they've got. Struth, Mr. Bang's lap time's slower than a roo with a limp. Wonder if they've had a few too. Sorry to cut in here. Oh mate, Armin Sunoiler's impersonating a lost tourist. Did someone forget to tell them it's a race, not a bushwalk?
Whoops, Armin Sunoiler is going to be kicking themselves.
The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Mr. Bang's inching ever closer to Wayne Pearson.
There's a razor-thin line between glory and disaster, and both drivers are dancing right on it.
Mr. Bang appears to be losing ground on Wayne Pearson. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Deitch and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. The race is heating up as Eric Wolfs in 7th closes in on Armin Sunoiler. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Mate, Mr. Bang's right up Wayne Pearson's chuff. As they zip through hairpin, we're all expecting some fireworks. Remember when we thought Mr. Bang had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing. Sorry to interrupt here, but bloody hell. Mr. Bang just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something.
Well, butter my biscuit. Mr. Bang just did the hokey pokey right in the middle of the race.
Looks like Eric Wolfs is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Eric Wolfs needs to be careful not to overdo it.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Chris Duke trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Jack M team. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
That's right, Chris Duck in 5th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Jack M team is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
The gap between Armin Sunoiler and Eric Wolfs may be wide, but that doesn't mean Armin Sunoiler is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
I've seen kangaroos that close the gap quicker in the bush than Eric Wolfs is doing now. They've got their work cut out for them.
Wow, Superman is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
And there it is. Superman has completed the race in first place, setting a blistering pace that none of the other drivers could match.
What a display of skill and precision.
Megasaurus 55 takes second place with a fantastic race.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
That was an outstanding performance from Richard Rossier. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium.
What a drive, well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
Jack M team and Chris Duke in 4th and 5th. Taking 6th and 7th is Armin Sunoiler and Eric Wolfs. Coming in 8th, we have Maybe Today Satan. Wayne Pearson brings home 9th. 10th is Mr. Bang. Welcome to Fuji Speedway GP, one of the most iconic circuits in Japan. The drivers are revving their engines and ready to take on this incredible challenge. Mr. Bang has got the inside track starting from pole position.
But they can't let their guard down. The other drivers will be gunning for them.
Lining up in second is Wayne Pearson.
Wayne Pearson will be ready to show what they're made of.
Maybe Today Satan lines up in third place as the engines rev and the race begins. Taking off from the fourth grid slot is the skilled driver, Eric Wolfs.
What can they do with that Mazda Eunos Roadster touring car from here?
Sitting in fifth, it's Armin Sunoila.
Another good start for the German driver.
Chris Iljuk is going to be starting from sixth.
but if they can find their rhythm early on, they could be a real threat.
On the 7th grid slot we have Jack M Team. From the middle of the pack, we have Richard Rossio in 8th place on the starting grid.
That Mazda MX-5 touring car looks like it has some potential.
In the middle of the pack, we have Megasaurus 55 starting from the 9th position on the grid. Superman will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from 10th on the grid. Puppy Dog from Hell has qualified 11th. And that's the race underway. Some very quick reactions there.
Lukey here, it's a true testament of a driver's grit. Gotta keep that car sticking like molasses in January. And if they ain't sharp, well, they might find themselves talking a little detour off the track.
The racing is normally closely fought here at Fuji Speedway GP. I think we are in for a cracking race.
I for one am really excited, Rob. The rivalry between Mr. Bang and Wayne Pearson has been building before the race, and this is where scores are settled.
It's brilliant to see such a full grid here today.
I'm looking forward to this one, Rob, and we'll see a return to form for Mr. Bang in this outing in Japan.
I can't wait to see how this race will play out.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Chris Il-Duke's sitting right there at 6, just watching the field unfold.
This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. The drivers are jockeying for position. Megasaurus 55 will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position. There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start. Quiet, steady, reliable. That's Jack M Team's game today. No drama, just some good old-fashioned racing.
Exactly, it's like playing chess at 200 miles per hour. Jack M Team is thinking several moves ahead, and it might just pay off.
It's a game of inches now as Superman tails Megasaurus 55 closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. Armin Sunoiler seems to be putting the pressure on maybe today's Satan.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
Get ready, folks. With Megasaurus 55 tailing this close to Chris Il-Duke, 100R is about to become a hotspot.
With Megasaurus 55 on the hunt, Chris Il-Duke better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Blimey, Jack M Team's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 3rd just like that. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
Hey Rob, ever seen a cat toy with a mouse? Kind of feels like what Richard Rozier is doing to Megasaurus 55 right now, doesn't it?
Talk about intense. Armin Sunoiler is on Chris Il-Duke's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach Net's corner.
Should things go awry, Armin Sunoiler and Chris Il-Duke might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
We got a close battle as Jack M Team closes in on maybe today's Satan. Blimey, Eric, Wolfs is closing in on Puppy Dog from Hell like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up start finish straight. With that gap, Richard Rossi is practically drafting off Chris Ilduke, eh?
Exactly. They're so close, it's like they're sharing the same race line. If Chris Ilduke were a country song, they'd be about losing their girl, their truck, and now, their lead.
The pressure is really on for Puppy Dog from Hell in ninth as Eric, Wolfs is closing in. This is where experience and skill really count.
It's an intense race between these two drivers and Eric. Wolfs is going to have to try something here.
Blimey, Puppy Dog from Hell just slipped up like a banana peel comedy, and Eric, Wolfs is having the last chuckle here.
Feels like Puppy Dog from Hell hit a patch of Carolina clay while Eric, Wolfs found the highway. That's right, they've got to stay focused and not let this setback affect their mindset. Meanwhile, Eric, Wolfs is showing some incredible skill and determination, and is now a serious threat to the other drivers on the track.
Hold on a moment, blimey. Armin Sunoiler's just thrown another shrimp on the barbie of mishaps. This one's burnt.
Well, shoot, Armin Sunoiler's channeling me trying to park in the city. A complete disaster but always a show.
This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Richard Rossier is the predator, with Chris Ilduke firmly in their sights. Superb driving from Richard Rossier, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Well, slap my knee and call it a jamboree. Richard Rossier is putting on a masterclass, storming into 7th.
A tough moment for Richard Rossier, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 8th. Struth. If Richard Rossier gets any closer to Chris Ilduke, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at start-finish straight.
They say rubbing is racing, but if Richard Rossier gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
Wait, Superman's off the track. Reminds me of my first car, a real lemon. Drove straight but only in reverse.
That maneuver from Superman, just like my attempt at DIY car mods. Ambitious, but not quite right.
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing prowess. The battle is on for Jack M Team. They're sandwiched between two rivals, Armin Sunoiler 0.1 seconds away and maybe today's Satan 0.1 seconds ahead. It's a true test of their racecraft.
Absolutely, Rob. The pressure is mounting for Jack M Team as they navigate through this challenging situation. It's crucial for them to remain focused and make calculated moves.
Hold your breath, folks. Jack M Team is sandwiched between two relentless competitors, Armin Sunoiler 0.1 seconds behind and maybe today's Satan 0.1 seconds ahead. They're fighting tooth and nail for every position.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind are crucial pieces of information for Jack M Team's race strategy. It's a delicate dance, and they must remain—
Sorry to cut in here, Mr. Bang stuffed it up. They're gonna need more than a coldie to forget that one.
Gee whiz, Mr. Bangs lost direction faster than I lost my youth. Welcome to the club.
Whoa, Richard Rossier is coming in hot. I don't know if it's the red mist or if they have just missed their breaking point. Looks like Richard Rossier's letting others have their 15 seconds of fame. Now strolling at 7th. Ripper of a move. Richard Rossier's not just in the race, they're owning it. G'day, 6th. Here's some action. Megasaurus 55's tailgating maybe today's Satan so close, it's like they're sharing the same set of wheels as they near start finish straight. A great pass for Megasaurus 55 as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, maybe today's Satan has lost ground. Things are getting spicy as Superman is breathing down Eric, Wolf's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Superman is giving Eric, Wolf's a run for their money. Things are gonna get spicy as they round Daiichi.
Oh my, Jack M Team is hot on the tail of Richard Rossier. As they come into Coca-Cola corner, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside.
If Jack M Team gets any closer to Richard Rossier, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
This is what it's all about, folks. Superman is in hot pursuit of Jack M Team, who's just trying to stay ahead. A brilliant maneuver from Superman, who has just moved up the field.
I tell ya, Superman's hotter than a peppered pickle right now. Bold and spicy, claiming 5th like a champ.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Eric Wolfs is breathing down the neck of Richard Rossier, not giving them any room to relax.
This is what separates the good from the great, the ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
Whoa there, Chris Il-Duke is sticking to Eric Wolfs like glue. You reckon Eric Wolfs is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. It's looking good for Chris Il-Duke, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Eric Wolfs. Look at this. Eric Wolfs is practically drafting off Chris Il-Duke. With the gap this small, start-finish straight is going to be a real test.
Well, isn't this a showdown? Eric Wolfs is right on the tail of Chris Il-Duke. Eyes peeled as they approach start-finish straight, folks.
The gap between Richard Rossier and Jack M team is razor thin as they vie for 6th in this nail-biting contest.
Sweet Caroline, Richard Rossier is giving Jack M team a hard time. Can't wait to see what happens when they hit Daiichi.
Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Richard Rossier acquaints themselves with a new perspective at 9th.
Such position changes can be deceptive. It might look like a setback for Richard Rossier, but seasoned viewers know better. The race is far from over.
Boy, Puppy Dog from Hell is on Mr. Bang like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack. Sweet tea and biscuits. Puppy Dog from Hell's got the pedal to the metal, chasing down Mr. Bang like it's the last slice of pie at a family reunion.
Oi! Someone tell Puppy Dog from Hell this isn't a Sunday Arvo drive to the bottle-o. Mr. Bang's making him look a bit slow out of the gate. You know, back in Oz, we have a saying, flat out like a lizard drinking. That's exactly what Puppy Dog from Hell is doing right now.
I've always wondered, what's that even mean? Lizards, drinks, racing? Y'all have a wild imagination down under.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Eric Wolfs is closing in on Chris Il-Duke. Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Eric Wolfs and Chris Il-Duke. There's no escape now. Megasaurus 55 is breathing fire and has locked onto Armin Sunola's tail. Just like my hope in finding the one, Puppy Dog from Hell's direction seems a bit lost right now.
Well, butter my biscuit. Puppy Dog from Hell's lost it like I lost my patience with that old carburetor of mine. A real test of character.
Gee whiz. Richard Rossier is breathing down Eric Wolfs' neck. Wouldn't want to be in Eric Wolfs' rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded.
Now, that's some driving, y'all. Richard Rossier is putting the pressure on Eric Wolfs. It's like watching a cat stalk a bird. They're inching closer with every turn.
It's not going to plan for Richard Rossier. They are still behind Eric Wolfs and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here. The tension between Superman and maybe today's Satan is palpable as they battle for P4. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
Now that's how it's done. Superman rips through the track, while maybe today Satan watches the tail lights fade.
Absolutely wrong, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Superman can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus. Eric
Wolfs could be looking for a way up the inside of Richard Rossier.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
Haha, you mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice. You learn to time your drinks, and hope for a long caution. Doesn't always work out though.
Look at Megasaurus 55 trying to close the gap on Armin Sunoiler. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party. This is where every inch counts. Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard to close the gap on Armin Sunoiler. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
Who needs speed dating when you've got Eric Wolf's chasing down Richard Rossier this eagerly? Move over Tinder. This is how you swipe right at 100 miles per hour.
The mental game is just as important here. Eric Wolves must keep their cool while putting pressure on Richard Rossier.
Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Armin Sunoiler to 0.1 seconds. Let's talk about tire degradation. How does it affect the car's handling, and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Rob. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
Chris Ilduke wants to find a way round Jack M team. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Megasaurus 55's giving it some stick, pulling Armin Sunoiler into a mere 0.1 seconds. During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind on the task at hand.
This is a thrilling battle as Richard Rossier edges closer to Chris Ilduke in their fight for P7. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Richard Rossier for nabbing 7th.
You know, back in Carolina, we say, go big or go home. Looks like Richard Rossier took that to heart, hitting 7th.
These engines aren't just humming for fun. They're thirstier than an Aussie after a game of cricket in the sun.
Cricket? That's like baseball with longer games, right? Anyway, these engines do have a roar that could rival any muscle car back home.
Megasaurus 55's playing hard to get, eh? If they drop the pace anymore, they'll be in reverse. But crikey, Armin Sunoiler's just raring to go.
Daggum. Megasaurus 55 spinning their wheels like a chicken with its head cut off. And Armin Sunoiler, like a kid in a candy store, leading the pack.
It's neck and neck. The closest battle we've seen in a while.
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them the race. It
seems like Superman has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Megasaurus 55's lap time there.
Superman's driving like they stole something, and that something is Megasaurus 55's dignity. Ouch.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Richard Rossier zeroes in on Jack M team, blade sharpened and ready.
Well, butter my biscuit. Richard Rossier is hot on Jack M team's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Fuji Speedway GP today.
Things are heating up as Superman closes in on Megasaurus 55. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Buckle up. Chris Ilduke is all over Richard Rossier like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Chris Ilduke looked like overtaking, I'd be sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
Look at that. They're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them dearly.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. The elite drivers truly stand out in moments like these. They have a sixth sense for identifying weaknesses and capitalizing on them with surgical precision.
Richard Rossier wants to get into Chris Ilduke's slipstream. Sorry to cut in here. Whoops. Jackem Team's taken more spins than a dead or alive record.
I swear, Jackem Team's acting like they found Elvis off track. Spoiler, the king ain't there.
Not much room to breathe for Superman with Megasaurus 55 trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at 100R.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Armin Sunoiler is locked in, mate. It's like watching a kangaroo chasing down that last bit of green in the outback. Every move is calculated, every turn precise.
You said it, Rob. Over here, it'd be like a quarterback eyeing that end zone in the final seconds. Armin Sunoiler is hungry for that top spot, and you can feel it.
The adrenaline is pumping as Jackem Team gets within striking distance of Richard Rossier in their race for 6th. Someone should tell Richard Rossier this ain't a Sunday drive. Jackem Team's tearing up the track. Hang on, braking alert. Oh, mate. That's how I used to drive after a couple of bevies at the pub. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining. It looks like Richard Rossier has found another gear in the last sector of the race.
You got this. Keep your cool.
Looks like Wayne Pearson's car has turned into a mobile, no vacancy sign, and Superman is looking for a room. You won't find cheap rent here, mate. And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Wayne Pearson. Superman never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic second-place finish.
Excellent focus from Armin Sunoiler to secure a fantastic third place on the podium. Megasaurus 55, maybe today Satan, Richard Rossier, and Eric Wolf's end in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. With Jackem Team, Chris Ilduke, Mr. Bang, and Puppy Dog from Hell in 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th.